Hey guys, Mario Martinez Jr. here, CEO of M3 Junior Growth Strategies. Hope you're doing flippin' awesome. All right, so today's raw and unfiltered episode, number 10, raw and unfiltered. We're going to be talking about 3 things that a salesperson has in common with an entrepreneur. Now, what are those 3 things? Number 1, a salesperson and an entrepreneur should both be bold and sometimes a little brazen. Number 2, both roles, whether you're an entrepreneur or a salesperson, should always set a course and go, despite whatever challenges might be coming up or influencing them to turn around. Number 3, be competitive, but don't be stupid. Those are 3 things that I believe, having lived the life of a salesperson, from a salesperson to a national account manager to a client account director to a vice president of sales, that every salesperson should have those 3 qualities. At the same time, we're living the life right now. M3 Junior Growth Strategies in 9 months has had a phenomenal year in 2016, and we have grown so rapidly and so fast. We are living the life of an entrepreneur right now as we speak. And so I've taken some time to reflect on this topic, and I really want you to think about each one of those bullet points that I just laid out. But the best part is I'm going to talk about item number 1 in this video. And at the end of the video, you're going to actually get a link to be able to listen to item number 2 that I just mentioned, which was set the course and go. And then at the end of that video, you'll have the opportunity to listen to video number 3, which is be competitive, but don't be stupid. All right, so let's talk a little bit about being bold and being brazen as a salesperson as well as an entrepreneur. I want to talk to you about the concept that every salesperson is the CEO of their own business. Now, we talk a lot about that concept as sales leaders. We say, this is your business. You make the decisions. Go own it, right? But the reality is there's 2 problems that happen. Number 1, the sales rep doesn't own it. And number 2, sales leaders really don't let them own it. And so some of the things I want to talk to you about are just small things that you can do to be bold and brazen, right? Make smart, calculated decisions. And I'm going to take you through an actual demonstration here of several items that can help you think of some concepts that can help you be bold in your process as an entrepreneur from a branding perspective, as well as from a branding perspective from a salesperson. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at my screen here behind me. And what I've done is I've done a search on the name Mario Martinez. Now, when you're looking at this particular screen right here, all the Mario Martinez's are popping up. The first 5 people that you can see are right here. What do you notice about this particular page that is different than any than everybody else on this page? Who is different? What is different on this particular page? Well, hopefully you're saying, well, wait a minute. All right, your picture stands out because you've got a red backdrop. Now, don't get me wrong, my friend Mario Martinez here, an ex-colleague of mine, along with my other friend Mario Martinez here and the other one in Houston, everybody's got some nice pictures. But the reality is their picture doesn't pop. And so from a branding perspective, I want you thinking about this. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a solopreneur, if you're a small business owner, go out there and get your picture to pop. Get a red backdrop. Who says you can't wear a cream-colored jacket? Who says you can't do a pink shirt with a blue blazer? Nobody, right? And if you're a salesperson, the exact same thing I want you thinking about in being more bold and being a little bit brazen. Doing things when you go to meet the photographer and they say, well, let's do a white backdrop. Let's do a gray backdrop. Like, those are just the regular same old. Give people something different in terms of your branding. All right, number 2. On this page, you may notice that for some reason, I have a much larger screen real estate between here and here. My screen real estate is double the size of almost nearly everybody else on this page. Well, why is that? Well, a couple things. Number 1, I take up more space because of the headline. I'll get to that in just a second. Number 2, I also take up more space because I have LinkedIn long blog posts posted on my profile. Okay? And I'm also a premium subscriber. So, that having been said, as a premium subscriber to LinkedIn, which you should do, you should go out and publish some articles, because when people are doing searches for your name or a keyword of which you're popping up in, Guess what? Solopreneur, entrepreneur, or sales rep, who do you want to have more screen real estate? Your competitor or you? That's right. Hopefully you're saying yourself, okay? That's one thing. Now, the other thing, too, is you'll notice that I'm actually taking up more space here as a result of the all caps. So this is interesting. If you go and take a look at my profile right here, you'll notice that everything is in all caps. I have everything that in my headline in all caps. Now, if you were to go out and ask the top 10 social sellers, probably 1 out of 10 would say, do it in all caps. That's me. Everybody else says, do it in regular, normal writing, just like my buddy Mario right here, right? Why do I say don't do that? Why do I say be bold? Couple reasons. Number one, when I was going through a process of rebranding several years ago, the organization that I was working with specifically specified, put it in all caps. Why? Well, for the very purpose that if you look here, I still have 120 characters, just like Mario does right here. But when you put it in all caps, you take up more space. And as a result of taking up more space, you take up more lines. As a result of taking up more lines, you get more screen real estate. Bada bing, bada boom. My branding is very important. Number two, 9 out of 10 social sellers will tell you don't put it in caps because it feels like you're screaming at somebody. Here's what I tell you. Not at all the case. Bah humbug. Now, I'm not saying they're wrong because some people may perceive that, right? That is an old school style thinking, though, in my opinion. Be a disruptor in your marketplace. And what I'm talking about is if you have everything in caps, well, guess what? You're not screaming and shouting when someone's reading the message. Now, if I just had words like keynote speaker in caps, clearly I'd be shouting at somebody if everything else was in normal text, right? But in this case, I have everything there. So the branding firm that I was working with said, look, Mario, you got to make sure that you stand out from the crowd, that you're different. And as a result of being different, here are a few things that you can do. So these are a couple of examples. Now, for the solopreneur and the entrepreneur, let me show you this one. I published this article called Pimp Certified. Now, there's a potential negative connotation to this word, pimped or pimp. And so I decided that I'm going to roll with this. Now, it's gotten a way crazy positive response. In 3 days alone, we've had hundreds of shares of this article, okay? And it's been really, really nice to be able to see that. There were definitely some people that I go to and I'd be able to ask opinions, to be able to say, hey, what do you think about this? And they said, hey, I'm not sure if you should do that. It's got a negative connotation. But I want to be a little bit brazen in the marketplace. Think about Pimp My Ride. Everybody knows that show, and a lot of people love it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do things that are different. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a solopreneur, how will you stand out from the crowd? Here is a great way of being able to let me think of something that's bold, maybe a little bit brazen, to be able to stand out from the crowd. Sales reps, same thing. You want to think about how you can stand out from the crowd, from the rest of your competition. And it may not necessarily be in a way of content, but it may be in how you say things, what you say, and it may be how you direct a customer to do certain things and how bold you are in your commentary. Another great example of something that we published is this article here. There were a lot of people that were concerned when I really sourced a lot of people. Should you do a Your Brand Sucks article? Guess what? We're the only ones trending on LinkedIn for the hashtag Your Brand Sucks and on Twitter. And we've got this article that was shared over 500 times and was picked up by LinkedIn themselves on their social channel to showcase what marketers should be doing for salespeople and what salespeople should be doing for themselves to properly brand themselves. So those are some examples of what being bold and brazen is in regards to your branding for both an entrepreneur and a sales rep. There's a ton of other things that you can do to be bold, to be brazen, to be able to get the attention, and it's the right level of attention. But some people may not like it. Some people may not think it's the right thing. And that leads me to the point number 2 I mentioned at the beginning, that you've got to make determination to set a course and go. And we're going to talk about that in the very next video. So go ahead and click on the card that's popping up so you can take a look at that video. Thanks so much for joining us. Raw and Unfiltered episode number 10. Don't forget to visit www.m3jr.com. That's m3jr.com. Until then, be a little bold, be a little brazen. That's one of the things that an entrepreneur and a salesperson have in common. Talk to you soon, guys. Take care.